treasures of Rome, art, architecture, music, literature, and his new enthusiasm, archaeology. After I'd graduated from college, I was sent to Europe to study archaeology, Wilder recalled decades later. One day, our class in Rome was taken out into the country to dig up a bit of the Etruscan world, a street. Once thousands of people had walked it. The rut was very deep. Those who have uncovered such a spot are never the same again. He wrote that each of us possesses something of the mind of an archaeologist, and that while people in previous centuries knew that many people had lived and died a long while ago, and that there were many people living on the earth, the modern mind grasps the reality that millions and billions have lived and died, and that probably billions and billions, let us not despair of the human race, will live and die. The extent of this enlarged realization alters the whole view of life. Wilder's pivotal Italian year helped to forge his vision of the individual's relationship to the universe, the infinite permutations and combinations of the basic life events, or plots: birth, struggle, love, aspiration, defeat, transcendence, death. How perfect it is, my being here, he exulted in a letter home from Italy in 1920. How much happier a chance has fallen than a year in Paris or London or New York. Rome's antiquity, her variety, her significance, swallow these others up, and I feel myself being irresistibly impelled towards saying of her that she is the eternal city. He wrote to his father that he wanted to develop a literary consciousness that took into account the artistic anxiety of the European and a new abundance and range of America. He said that his foray into ancient Rome evoked in him a new appreciation for the American experience. Amos Parker Wilder, father of Thornton and 4 other precocious children, was a journalist, consular official, and platform lecturer with ambitious yet practical dreams for his sons and daughters. He deplored the fact that 4 of them seemed bent on becoming artistic writers, that is to say, unmarketable. Many years later, Wilder wrote that his father had read my numerous works with deep concern. They appeared to him to be, borrowing a phrase he had picked up in China, carved cherry stones. The Wilder children were well acquainted with this metaphor, for their father used it often when he sought to discourage their interest in writing. Amos Wilder hoped that Thornton would return from Italy in a year's time uncorrupted and equipped to earn a living. He worried about his son's seeming inability to concentrate and persevere, his tendencies toward wool-gathering and dilettantism. Amos concluded that teaching was the best fit for Thornton's temperament, and with the help of strong references from 2 of his son's Yale professors, secured a teaching post for Thornton. By the autumn of 1921, the traveler was settling into his job as assistant housemaster for Davis House and French teacher at Lawrenceville School, a few miles from Princeton, New Jersey. At night, his duties done, lessons prepared, papers graded, and young charges asleep, Wilder turned to his reading and writing. Years later, former students in Davis House recalled hearing Wilder's footsteps tracing a steady pattern across the floorboards as he worked on the novel and the plays he was writing after hours. He had rejoiced in his sojourn in the land of Virgil, Cicero, Tasso, and Dante. It was enough, he said, to set the imagination racing. As he worked on his first novel in his spare time, he was transmuting the Italian experiences, real and imagined, into art. Wilder's papers reveal some of the winding pathway from conception to completion of the novel, an imaginary memoir of a young American mingling with a small clique of privileged, eccentric residents of early 20th century Rome. He referred to his story variously as Notes of a Roman Student, Roman Memoirs, The Trasteverine, and The Memoirs of Charles Malleson, The Year in Rome, among other titles. Along the way, Wilder experimented with characters and structure, with voice and style, even momentarily groping, like other writers of the time, for a literary response to World War I.